There's a version of you in the future that's screaming right now, not in pain from injury, not in anger, but in desperation. They're begging you to wake up. They're watching every decision you make today, knowing exactly what it leads to. Every time you hit snooze, every time you scroll instead of work, every time you choose comfort over progress, they feel it. They carry the weight of your inaction. And the question is, will you listen? Because whether you want to believe it or not, the future version of you isn't some distant, mystical being. It's just you, but with all the consequences of what you're doing right now. What they need is for you to care enough about where you're heading that you start moving now. They need you to stop ignoring the signs. The anxiety, the frustration, the feeling that you're meant for more. Those aren't symptoms to avoid. They're signals. They're your internal compass shaking you awake. And when you start, something shifts. The fog begins to clear. Momentum starts to build. And what once felt impossible starts to feel inevitable. You see, time doesn't negotiate. It doesn't wait. It moves forward no matter how ready or unready you are. They follow the crowd, stay in their comfort zone, and convince themselves that survival is success. But deep down, they know something's missing. They know that the life they're living isn't the one they imagined. And by the time they realize it, it's often too late to go back. But that whisper, that inner knowing, it's your future self trying to break through. It's the version of you who knows what's possible. If only you'd stop waiting. And every action or inaction is a seed. You're planting a life, moment by moment. Picture them 10 years older, seasoned by life, shaped by the outcomes of your current habits. What would they say? Would they thank you for your discipline? Would they be proud of how you protected your vision? Or would they look at you with disappointment, knowing that you traded greatness for comfort? Some people wake up 10 years from now and reap a garden full of regret. Others harvest greatness. It all depends on what you're doing now. Think about this for a second. You've had dreams, haven't you? Ideas, goals, things you said you'd do someday. But then life happened. Distractions piled up, responsibilities grew, and slowly, those dreams faded into the background. Not because they weren't possible. No one's going to hand it to you. No opportunity will magically land in your lap without preparation. You have to meet your future halfway. That means that means showing up even when you're tired, even when motivation fades. Because progress isn't built in moments of hype. It is built in moments of discipline. But because you stopped listening to the voice inside that whispered, you're meant for more. That voice never dies. It just gets quieter when you drown it in noise. The noise of excuses, fear, procrastination, and comfort. Here is something we all need to accept. The life you want is not going to arrive on its own. Your future self doesn't want perfection. They don't expect you to get everything right. Most people sleepwalk through life. But you still have time. You have this moment. You have this day, and that's enough to begin changing everything. No, you won't transform overnight. But you can start. Imagine your future self walking into the room right now. This isn't about guilt. It's about awakening. It's about realizing that every version of you, the one who's thriving, the one who's broken, the one who's fulfilled, the one who's frustrated, they all exist in the realm of possibility. Which one you meet depends on the path you choose today. The scary part is, life doesn't always warn you. Sometimes, the opportunity of a lifetime comes and goes in silence. Sometimes, the wrong choice doesn't hurt you today, it bleeds you slowly over years. And before you know it, you're looking in the mirror at someone you don't recognize. But here's the good news. You're not stuck. You're not too late. No matter how far off track you've wandered, the path forward is always within reach. It just requires something you've had all along. Choice days when you wonder if it's even worth it. In those moments, you must remember this. Your future self is watching. They're cheering for you. From knowing you had more in you but chose less. Don't let that be your story. And once you know, you have a responsibility to act, to shift, to build. The goal is to wake up one day and realize you didn't settle, you soared. They're hoping you don't give in, because they know what's on the other side. And it's beautiful. You don't need a 10-step plan. You don't need permission. One that when someone asks, how did you get here? Your only answer is, I didn't quit. That voice inside you, the one you've tried to ignore, the one that keeps calling for more, it's not going away. That's your future self calling out. Not in judgment, not in anger, but in love. They believe in you. They're waiting for you. They're begging you to choose better. To choose now. That means you're changing. And change is never easy, but it's always worth it. You don't need to wait for the perfect time. You speak up when you'd usually stay silent. You open the book. It's the one with the most consistency. Talent fades. Opportunity shifts. But the person who keeps showing up, who keeps pushing when no one is watching, that person cannot be stopped. You shut off the noise. And most importantly, you stop lying to yourself about why you're stuck. You stop pretending you're a victim of circumstance when deep down, you know you've been choosing comfort over growth. You need to decide that you're worth the effort. Decide that your future deserves better than your past. Decide that one uncomfortable action today is better than a lifetime of regret. It starts small. You get up earlier. You finish the task you've been avoiding. The most powerful person in the world isn't the one with the most talent. Your future self doesn't care how hard it is right now. They care whether or not you rise through it. Because that struggle you're facing, that's the exact thing shaping your strength. Growth doesn't happen in peace, it happens in resistance. So if it hurts, if it's hard, if you're tired, good, that means you're in the process of becoming. There will be days when you want to quit. Days when it feels like nothing's working. Don't live a life that needs explaining. Live one that speaks for itself. Regret doesn't come from failure. It comes from inaction, from wondering what could have been. You're not too broken, you're not too late, and you're not average, you've just been distracted, but now you know. It's not going to be easy, but ease has never been the goal. The goal is becoming. The goal is impact, so listen closely. Will you answer the call? Because your future is not built later. It's built right here, right now, in this very moment. And the person you become will either thank you or beg you to start over. Choose wisely.